So just before we went live, we were talking about this question: when can I send my child back to daycare? It's next to impossible to work while my little ones are at home. And maybe this is a good one to start with also, because all four of us have young children, I think, at home, and they might interrupt us. So bear with us as we do that. So let's see, I think, Lindsey, you had some thoughts about when we can send our kids back to daycare. You want to get us started there?
Yeah, so this is of desperate interest to me, having an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. Again, as Malia pointed out, they are my teaching and research assistants. I'm sure we'll hear from them at some point on this. So as a collective, we were kicking this around, and according to the federal guidelines, it may be a phase 1 type reopening, which means sooner rather than later. But I think that we will probably see a differentiated set of recommendations. Most of the guidance around these things is actually coming from the states as life continues to evolve. So pay attention to your state and make sure that, we have to make sure that one, the children of healthcare workers have kind of privileged access to existing spots. And 2, that we as a collective and you as a state and your daycare center has good practices around how best to reopen to non-healthcare workers' kids safely. And if others want to jump in, I'd love that.
I'll just add that some of the recommendations right now around how to maintain social distancing in those settings will have to be scaled up to accommodate children that are outside of healthcare workers' children. So I think that's something that we can be looking for guidance around and information around how and when centers feel like they can adhere to those guidelines on a larger scale.
Great, thanks, Lindsey and Amanda.